Welcome to another episode of the Bethesda Brothers Podcast. I am the KingFanMan, joined as always with my partner in crime, Joey Caps Gaming, or as I call him, Brother Joe. How you doing, Brother Joe?
I am fantastic. I've just been playing Starfield, King. That's it. I can't put it down. It's been so much fun.
I'm going to use your word. I'm ecstatic.
Stupendous.
Stupendous, yes.
Stupendous.
So
yes.
I guess I don't have to ask. Your review would be what? Really, I would like you.
My review?
Give me a number, one to 10. What would be your review score? How many hours have you put in? About
50.
Okay.
50.
We're about the same then.
Yeah. But this is just. We're about the same, right? This is crazy. We're about the same. You're experiencing the game in a much different way than I've been experiencing, which is crazy.
It is.
And we're both 50 hours in, and we're just experiencing it in completely, entirely different ways.
That's
so,
right.
From what I've played so far,
which is a great thing about Starfield, by the way. But go ahead.
Yeah. What I've played so far, I would give Starfield. This might be really generous, and I'm sorry. I am a Bethesda fanboy too, BGS fan. I love my BGS games. I'd give it like a solid 9.3.
Hey, you are right where I said 9.2 earlier in the week. Last week. That's what I said.
Yeah, I'd give it a 9.3. I won't speak anything on the main quest. I will just say that it's been the best main quest that I've ever played in a BGS game. It's my favorite.
And you are actually done with the main quest.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not. Yeah.
No, I know.
That was one way we did it different. Yeah.
It's
interesting.
It's worth it.
Yep. Well, obviously, it is a success. It is the biggest launch for Bethesda so far. I'm going to say so far because I believe the sky's the limit for them now. But right now, they have 6 million players. Wow, 6 million. That's
crazy.
That's incredible. And the last I checked, wasn't it 320 concurrent players
I thought
on
it was
Steam?
330.
Did it go up to 330?
Yeah, I think so.
See, I have to keep checking because it keeps going up.
Yeah.
But breaking records anyway. It just keeps breaking records. So I'm very happy. One of the podcasts we did was that Bethesda and Xbox needed a masterpiece, and I think they got one. They got a hit anyway, and I think it's a Skyrim type hit, and that's wonderful. But this podcast is all about the negatives, the critics that are out there about Starfield. And anytime you have a success, you're going to have some haters. And I really want to address some of the issues. Starfield does have some issues, but I think people are taking issue with things that really aren't issues with Starfield. And I think maybe today we can draw a line between things that really are issues in Starfield and some things that people are stressing over that aren't issues. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yeah.
Number one, let's get this off the plate. There are some out there that are just review bombing and doing that kind of stuff just for hate and because they like a different system. That's not what we're talking about. I'm not even going to address those people. That's silly. That's going to go on. I don't know if you want to address that or not.
No, as far as like that, I mean, I guess I will now. I guess as far as the review bombing goes, it's just people that are a little upset that it's not on PlayStation.
Yeah. And
that they can't play it. The great thing is about Starfield, you could go and buy a Xbox Series S for $300. It's inexpensive as far as a brand new console goes.
Can I interrupt for just a second? You can also, I know it's a little harder to play this way. You can also buy an Xbox One. You can play it on an Xbox One through cloud gaming as well. So I mean, yeah. There are ways to play it for not very expensive.
Yeah, but also too, if you have a PC, just get Game Pass. You don't have to buy the game. Just get Game Pass, and it's on your PC. It's available to you right then and there.
Yeah.
So just get Game Pass. I don't even think you need to get the $15 or $16 Game Pass.
No,
get the $10 one.
You do not.
Just to play Starfield.
Yeah,
that's it. and you could experience it. So I just think a lot of people are incredibly hurt that Starfield isn't on PlayStation, and I don't blame them. But at the same time, too, it's
Well, I do blame them in this, and it's like I said on Twitter last night. There are
yeah,
thousands of games I've never played, and
yeah,
there are probably thousands of games that I will never be able to play because they're on a system that I don't have, a platform that I don't have. But there's not one of them I hate on because of that.
it would be like us hating on Spider-Man, because we like if you just had an Xbox, it would just be like people hating on Spider-Man
Yeah.
because you can't play Spider-Man. And that's just stupid to me. I haven't played Spider-Man. I do have a PS5, but I haven't played Spider-Man. I would like to play Spider-Man, but it was just like me hating on Spider-Man, and I've never played it in my life.
Yeah.
It's just that's just stupid. It's
Well,
just
we've given them way too much time that I said I wasn't going to give. But now to the issues that people are saying they're having,
sure.
and I think I have an answer for most of them. Some are saying things like there's too many loading screens, things are hidden behind too many perks. Let me read one comment that kind of sums a lot of these up. This person said, I play on PC and Starfield didn't live up to the hype. The exploration is a lie. There are too many loading screens. Every single skill is locked behind perks. And he goes on and gripes more about the perks and that kind of thing. Well, a lot of what he said was true. I do think it lived up to the hype. But Starfield is a really slow burn. I will give it that. It takes a while to learn Starfield. I think the biggest thing about Starfield is people do not put enough time in it before they give their opinion on Starfield. Because even as a diehard Bethesda guy that has played every Bethesda game that they've ever made, it took me a while to learn Starfield, and I think it was the same with you.
Yeah, it took me easy 4 hours to just completely understand, get comfortable with everything. It takes a little while. It's a brand new experience. It's a brand new game. It's not like there've been like 5 Starfields. No, it's a brand new franchise, brand new. This is something that they've never done before. So of course it's gonna be. Of course they're not just gonna throw you to the wolves. Of course they're not,
But
and they shouldn't.
they also told us that this was going to be a much deeper RPG. I mean, they warned us over and over and over that this was going to have, and this was what I thought about. This is so. They could have made a much easier game. It could be a lot easier. But for it to be a lot easier, they would either have to do one of two things. They would either have to hold your hand a lot more, or they would have to cut a lot of content.
Yeah.
And what I love about Starfield is they don't hold your hand at all. I mean, there is not much hand holding in it. And in fact, after putting 50 plus hours into the game, I still learn stuff about it every time I play it. I'm still learning stuff.
No, absolutely.
I love that about Bethesda games.
Yeah, I think though, as far as like holding your hand, the one thing that I will say, they do give you like their own version of clairvoyance where it shows you what to do next essentially and where to go.
Yeah, on the
So
scanner.
it does. They do have that, which at times it's helpful because if you're like in a cave or you're somewhere and you're kind of lost, it's like, oh no, I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
I can't fast travel out of here. You just pop that open and it directs you out. I like that.
Whenever in doubt, turn on your scanner. That's what I've.
Yeah, exactly.
There's
exactly.
our biggest tip of the day.
It's not a bad thing though. I like the scanner. I like the function. It's really cool.
To that guy's point about too many loading screens, I understand that when you have planets you're going to be traveling to, there's going to be a lot of loading screens. But I have also learned there is a way past many of these loading screens, and we were teasing about this before the podcast.
He didn't even tell me.
No, I didn't.
Tell me.
And I'm sure you've learned some of this. But
Okay.
at the start, I was going, okay, I've got to walk on my ship. I've got to get in my chair. I've got to open up in my menu. And by the way, the menus, how many menus do you have? Oh, my word. This is another one
I
of those
used to
things.
do it. I
There's
used to.
so many menus. And again, I would say they could have made it easier, yes, but they would have to cut content.
Yeah.
You go through all the menus and you find where you're going. Did you know you can literally jump to where you're going while you're standing in a building? You don't have to walk to your spacecraft, get in your spacecraft, so you can avoid like 3 loading screens like that. You can
Yeah.
just do one straight to the planet.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in your spaceship, instead of going to your menu and all that, all you have to do is point your spaceship at, and of course this would be for a tip video, but I'm just giving you some examples. All you have to do is point your spaceship at whatever it is. Hit the X button if you have a controller. I'm not sure what it is on the keyboard right off the top of my head, but you click on it and it'll come up, and instead of having to go to the menu, all you have to do is hit that one button and it fast travels your spaceship from that. You don't even have to go to your menu.
Cool.
So you avoid all of those things. So there's little things you learn as you go that you can avoid all the
Yeah.
those things that make it a little longer, that make it a little more tedious when you don't know it. For example, when I first started the game, oh my word, I was picking up everything, by the way. I think everybody probably did that on the first place you went. And every time I saw a thing of duct tape, I thought, yes, duct tape is nothing in Starfield. Don't pick up the duct tape in Starfield. This is the first BGS game. The duct tape is nothing. But it's there's a learning curve. Is my point to this game. A huge learning curve, and I think a lot of the criticism to Starfield is that they're not going through that learning curve. Because real quick, Todd Howard said the more you give Starfield, the more Starfield gives back. And now I understand that so much.
I agree with them.
Yeah.
It's funny, King. There's another thing that people have complained about, the lack of survival mode.
Yeah.
And what I actually there is a little element of survival mode in Starfield already. You could get cramps, right? You could start cramping. You could start coughing. You could be in serious pain. And you'll feel that way until it either some heal on its own, or you have to take a medicine or see a doctor for it.
A specific type of medicine. You can't just take a stim pack anymore.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's a very specific type of medicine for certain things, or just go and see a doctor, but spend the credits on seeing a doctor. Yeah. I think that's really cool. It's a small element of survival mode, but it is in the game, and I don't think people are either realizing it or they're ignoring it, that there is an element of survival mode. I think that's really neat too.
Speaking of cramps, but by the way, with survival mode, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they added survival mode to Fallout 4 after launch.
Yes, yeah.
So that's probably something that may be coming to Starfield after launch. That's what Bethesda normally does. But cramps, if anybody knows my playstyle, I normally like to be a stealth guy in these games. And my son said, because by the way, if you go around sneaking everywhere, you will get cramps. That your legs will cramp up in this game. You cannot sneak everywhere you go. Yeah. So he said, you're going to get cramps. But by the way, I learned in Starfield that sneaking everywhere is not really good. I like to be a gung-ho guy in Starfield, so
yeah, me too.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, me too. Really quick, just completely random.
Yes.
What perks do you have maxed out? If you know off the top of your head, I know a few.
That is a great question. And I'm glad you're getting into this, because that was another one of his points was, things are locked behind perks. Well, do you not know how an RPG works, number one?
Yeah, you got to play the game.
Yeah, you got to play the game. Perks are so important in Starfield. And yes, the game is behind perks. And It's how you want to play the game. What Joe started out, it's what I think we got spoilt in Fallout 4, or
Well, King,
the general gamer got spoilt in Fallout 4.
well,
Again, Fallout
not
4 is not
really.
RPG. Hold on
Yeah,
just a
but
minute. You could do
yeah,
everything in Fallout 4 and be Superman. That's not an RPG. You've got to make choices.
but
Things
King,
have to be locked if you don't make that choice.
but it was locked in Fallout 4 to a degree.
It
You
was,
had to reach a certain like your level had to be at a certain point in order
but
to,
it
let's
was
say,
pretty easy to get. Let's
yeah,
be
but you
honest.
you had to grind a little bit though in the
Yeah.
beginning of the game. For example, if you want to level up your commando perk, you had to, in order to max that out, you had to get to 50. In
You
Starfield,
did.
that's not the case. You could max out one of the first tier perks, for example, ballistic, if you do what the perk tells you to do.
Tells
I
you to do.
forgot with I think it was like you had to kill a certain amount of enemies
It
with a
is.
ballistic
Ballistic
weapon.
weapon. Yep.
Yeah, something like I got it maxed out, but I maxed it out at a low level. But like you don't have to level up. Well, you do to earn the skill points to throw it in that said skill, but it's not. It's locked behind in a different way.
You doing them. Yeah. You have
Yeah,
to
but
do that.
it's they're not even that extreme.
No, it's not.
Just kill 10 enemies and you have the first tier unlocked, and then it's like, okay, now kill 20. It's like, okay,
But you have to make the choice for your character to go that direction.
sure, yes, yeah.
You can't say I want to do everything. You can't do that with an RPG. Anyway,
I've done a lot.
you asked me about perks. What I ballistic, of course, I've got that. I've
Yeah,
actually got the rifle perk all the way up too. So
me too.
I'm really strong with that.
Yeah,
Um,
rifle certification.
yeah, I actually don't have the boost pack all the way up. I have it to
I
3.
do.
I have
I have it
mine
all
to
the way up.
3. I have my persuasion all the way up. I love that.
Yeah,
Um,
me too.
oh, let's see. Which else do I have maxed at this point? See, I'm a lot lower level than you, and we've played the
Yeah.
same amount of hours. That's crazy. But
It stinks, King. And before anybody says anything, I did not do the outpost glitch. I didn't glitch anything. I'm just playing the game as it's, as I'm playing it in a way where they intended. That's how I'm playing it. And that's why I'm such a high level. With the outpost, I guess, glitch or manipulating the outpost, no, it's not how I'm doing it. I'm just I can't tell you how I'm doing it.
well,
That's what's
there is certain things you can do that, and I know there's certain things I could do to level up faster. I mean, you can go out on the planet and just shoot the animals and level up faster. That's
sure,
one
yeah,
way.
yeah, the wildlife
The
and stuff,
wildlife,
but
yeah.
there's just things like I can't tell you. Like I literally can't.
Well, shame on you.
I mean, I could. I'll just spoil the game for you.
Oh,
Though,
okay,
so
okay, yeah, don't
I'd
do that.
rather not.
Yeah, don't do
Yeah, I'd rather not.
that.
You'll understand soon enough.
Okay, give me a
You'll
few of
understand.
your perks that you've leveled up.
Boost training all the way up. The pilot perk all the way up.
See,
Ballistic all the way up.
I'm working on my pilot. I did not do that one early enough, and I should have. Oh man,
Yeah.
I should have.
I like the gravity perk to where it allows you to combat slide. I think that's really cool. That's not all the way up though. I got that up to like 1. The oxygen perk not all the way up yet. Soon.
I got my athletics perk all the way up.
Oh, nice. Persuasion. I got that all the way up to the heavy weapons. It's like up to rank 3, I think. The shotgun rank 3. So my combat stuff, the armor one, I think that's on the last tier, the penetration one. I got that up to rank 3. Rapid reload up to rank 3. So I have a lot up to rank 3. It's worth it to level those guys up. I'm just unstoppable when it comes to combat.
I am too. I am too, and I'm finally learning. I finally learned how to do ship combat, and now that I'm getting my piloting up, I can do it now. But
King, I love this ship combat.
But see, I'm not up to B class yet. I'm still with A class. But I have I got the oh, what's the name of it starts with an E. What are those? The Ecliptics. I stole an Ecliptic ship that is huge. You can get it really early in the game. I mean, it is humongous. You can just go and go and go in this, and then I've upgraded it as high as you can upgrade in A class, and I can, man, I am wiping up people in that thing. I love it.
Yeah, I get. I maxed out the piloting. So is A class the highest or C class the highest?
C class is the highest. A class is where you start.
Because how that's the highest, or
no, A class is the lowest. A class is where you start.
So so C class, because I unlocked the C class one.
Yes.
So I'm excited to have a C class ship.
Absolutely,
that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you in B class now? Is that what you're?
Can't tell you. No, like I
you don't know.
Can't.
You don't know.
Gotcha. No.
Oh,
I know.
You just can't tell me. He's got too many spoilers, guys.
I know. Wow. I can't tell you. Like I'm keeping things from you. I'm keeping things from a few of my buddies. Like
This is the great thing. I'm live streaming tomorrow on my channel, and I'm starting over though. I'm going to start. I'm right past the character creation, so I can't wait. I'm really excited about starting over.
Oh, geez, you're starting over?
Starting over, yes, already. And I'm excited about it.
Why are you starting over?
By the way, one other quick question, then we got to wrap this thing up, but we're going to talk about crafting and outpost building, because it is totally different and harder in a way in Starfield. Okay. Your favorite companion, and have you maxed out your companion yet?
Have I? No. There's a reason why. There's a reason, but I have not. No.
Okay. Do you have a favorite yet?
Favorite? I liked Sam a lot. I did. Barrett is cool once when you get to know him. Dara Morgan, a sweetheart. I don't know if I could tell you this one companion. She's a woman, but I don't know if I could tell you her if you met her yet.
There's two women.
Yeah.
And I know both. I know both of them.
Andreja is her name?
I've got her maxed out. So
okay, cool. She's pretty cool.
She's my favorite.
Yeah, and then I
thought I liked Sarah, but she disliked everything I did, and I was like, "Get away from me, girl! Get away from me, girl!"
What did you do to make her dislike you?
Well, you know what? Excuse me, I'm not used to wearing a hat. I got to where I thought. And this is, we're totally going off podcast here. We're just talking about, normally when I have a companion and I'm working on building up rep, I'm thinking, what will they think is good? But I thought, I'm going to do this different. I'm going to do this just, how I would react, and I'm going to find the one that's the best with me.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
So I just started reacting the way that I would react. And Sarah was just like, really? I mean, she just looked down her nose at everything I did.
Yeah.
If I did something good, she was like, well, I wouldn't have done that. If I did something bad, she was like, I wouldn't have done that. And then I got, how'd you pronounce her name? Andreja?
Andreja? That could be totally wrong.
And then everything I did, she was like, oh, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, me and her just clicked. So...
I liked it. Was funny. I had Sarah and Sam on the ship at the same time, and I was fighting random, I guess, space pirates, and all of a sudden I accidentally hit a United Colony ship. It was by accident.
Oh no.
They hated me. I was like, guys, I didn't mean it. Like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
There's no sorry. There's no sorry option.
I know. They were so offended, and rightfully so. But it's like, guys, I didn't mean it. It was an accident.
It was an accident. Yeah.
And they just didn't care. They didn't care.
Oh, know it. Oh man, I want to get into another subject. We'll do that in another podcast. Okay, real quick on the crafting and outpost building. We talked about this a little bit before the podcast. Totally different in Starfield. Me and you both with the Outpost building. I built one Outpost, and you said you hadn't really got into it yet.
Haven't touched it. No.
I know this. I know first it's totally different, and then number two, it goes really, really in depth. You can have an animal farm. You can have all kinds of things, and make a lot of money through your outposts.
I'm
So
excited.
again, this is another one of those things that critics are there, griping about. But a lot of
Yeah.
it, you've got to make the choices, which I haven't yet. There are other things that were more important. But now remember, Todd Howard said that's more of a later game thing, and I can see because you want to get your piloting up and you want to get your ballistics and all that up first, your combat skills up first before you ever think about outposting. Same way, probably about crafting. Now, crafting might come first with you, Joe. I don't know how much you've put into crafting.
I
Normally,
haven't.
like Fallout 4, I started crafting from the very beginning. But the way Fallout 4 was, it was designed so that you could craft from the very beginning. And it kind of rewarded you for crafting. This game, again, if you don't have the perks, if you don't choose that as a background for yourself, if you don't choose that kind of knowledge, and again, this is RPG, guys, that's another RPG element. And you say, well, that's just locked behind a perk. No, again, you can't know everything as a person. You've got to have that skill. If you decide to go another direction, that's your choice. I just haven't put the time into crafting that I normally would. We just went through the ones that we have literally maxed out. I mean, we've maxed all these other out without even putting 1 point into crafting or outpost building or anything
Yeah.
else. Come on. So
Yeah.
it's the choices you make, really. You were making some points like you cannot craft ammo, as far as we found out in this game. So there are some changes.
Yeah, that stinks if that's the case. In all fairness, I mean it's an 8-year-old game at this point, but Fallout 4 when that came out, that didn't have ammo crafting in the beginning. You got it with DLC. I think Wasteland Workshop, and then you would build these, stations essentially, and you would throw it into this machine, and then type in the computer what type of ammo you wanted to craft, and then it would just roll across the conveyor belt, and there it was.
Gosh,
That's
I
how you crafted in Fallout
I
4.
had forgotten that because I'm
Yeah,
so used to it in '76. I had
76. Yeah,
forgotten that.
easy. Yeah, Fallout 4. That I liked that though. It was I mean more
More
realistic, and sometimes
realistic, yeah.
realism is the best for video games, I guess. But I enjoyed that
There
though. I
there
enjoyed
must be
that.
some reason in their engine, some reason, something in the single player games why they don't put ammo
Probably.
in. There's got to be.
I mean, there's mods though that enable it to happen.
Yeah.
Like there's ammo crafting with mods,
But I mean,
so
there's got
it's
to be something that uh, maybe if people would make too much ammo, it'd be too much strain. I don't know why
could
they
be.
don't do it.
Yeah, it could be.
Could be.
Who
There's
knows?
there's got to be some kind of limit. But I know
Yeah.
this, the way they have done it, it makes me keep wanting to go back to the game to go, ooh, now I want to learn this. Now I want to go in this direction. Now,
Absolutely.
and I think that's number one, a great thing about BGS games, but it seems like this game even a little bit more so than other games. So I think to kind of wrap up the subject of the podcast, I think the critics are way off in talking about number one, it didn't live up to the hype. I think it's totally lived up to the hype and beyond. Because how can you really hype a game that has all that Starfield has? I don't know how I would have marketed this game. I mean, how could you tell someone about Starfield? Good grief. It's got so
I
much
know.
they can't tell you about
It's tough.
it while you're playing it. Yeah,
it's tough. It is honestly, King. Though this has me really excited for. This is gonna sound really nutty. Has me excited for Elder Scrolls 6.
Oh yes,
has me excited for the future of the Fallout franchise.
yes.
This has been Starfield, the best combat in any BGS game.
Absolutely,
The combat
bar
is
none.
so much fun.
It is.
Yeah, it's not even close. So
It is.
I can't wait to see what they do with Fallout 5 or whatever Fallout. Elder Scrolls 6, though, will come before that. However, Starfield being so successful, maybe we don't even see Fallout 5. Maybe we see Starfield 2 prior to Fallout 5.
Don't even say that.
I know. I don't want that
Fallout
either.
fans.
But honestly, though, if they did make Starfield 2, which they will eventually, if they did make Starfield 2, it won't be as slow of a burn.
That's true.
Because Starfield introduced you to the mechanics, the first one, and then the second one will probably be, a little more toss you into the world, and
Yeah.
So Starfield 2, it won't be as slow of a burn, I don't think. Anyway.
No, and it won't take them 8 years to make it.
Yeah, but like I understand why it did though.
Yeah,
I understand why it did, because look what's in it.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Yeah.
So I like to think that it's 5 different main quests in one game. That's what they did.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Well, last thing I'm going to ask you before we go.
Yeah.
Have you done the Vanguard quest line?
Nope.
Oh.
Oh. Nope. There's a reason. There's a reason. I can't tell you why, but there's a reason.
I will just say this. It's better than the Dark Brotherhood from Oblivion.
Really?
Yeah. It is.
I think so. Okay.
It's my favorite. It's now my favorite faction quest line ever. Since you said that you had your favorite main story, I now have my favorite faction quest line.
Yeah, this game is ridiculous. Yep. That's all.
Guys, thank y'all for joining us. If y'all have not subscribed to Joey Caps Gaming before, please do. He really needs
got content coming.
Yes.
Got content coming. This rejuvenated me. I got content.
He also has an amazing baseball channel called The Shift. Both of his channels are down in the description below. Please go check them out. Also, if you haven't subscribed to me yet, you know you have. Come on. You know you have.
What are you doing? You listen this far to the podcast. Come on.
What are you doing? I am the KingFanMan. He is Joey Caps. We will see you next time. Bye, guys.
Awesome.